So yeah, today I'd like to introduce a new tedge command that is tedge diag collect. Yeah, now we have a new command. So first of all, I would like to explain the motivation of this command. So when someone has a problem with ThinkEdge, then they come to us and they need a support from us. But then we often have this communication. Please provide the log of mosquito. Please provide the result of tedge MQTT sub and which OS are you using. So like every time we need to have the same communication with the people who needs the help from us, and this command will simplify the communication between the support side and also the user side who has a problem. And so this feature is consists of the mainly two parts. So I'm going to show you the quick diagram, a very simple diagram actually. Like that. So this tedge diag correct subcommand works as a runner, so which makes the main process. And then there are some plugins. Each plugin must be an executable. So that means it can be a shell script, or if you are familiar with Python as a programming language, you can create just executable. And then this tedge diag correct command spawns the child process and then run each plugins. And then result, stdia, so standard output, standard error from the plugin will be recorded and gonna be corrected in a file. And also the plugin side, it can create any kind of files. So in the end, this tedge diag correct creates one table that compress all files into the one, and then the user just can provide that table to the support side. So then let's make a demo now. Okay, so now by default, if you download, if you install ThinkEdge with a package, some diagnostic plugins are already bundled. So now this setup, I have already predefined as a default workflow, not workflow, so plugins. And then I just run this tedge diag correct. So the default plugins are now stored this user share tedge diag plugins directories. And then now I have 7 plugins. And in the end, this one creates a table. You can see the where it was stored from the output of the command. And then let's check what is the content of this one. Let's go tmp, and then yeah, I have. Okay, then so let's decompress. The last one is this one. So then let's okay. So this the command creates this table, and now I just decompress the table to see what is inside. So I have here the 7 plugins, and for each plugins it creates a subdirectory. Yeah, and for example, this OS plugin is kind of the easiest one. So the script itself is actually super easy. So this one actually echoes etc OS release. And also to echo, sorry, cat etc OS release, and also uname. Then this one just goes to std out And since std out is captured by the main command, so you can easily to see the output. So you can see what is really executed from here, and also std it was nothing recorded, and the std out, yeah, you see some system information. Also, I will show you another one. What is good for this workflow? So here under the workflow, you can see a couple of workflow logs. The original script, original plugin is so like that. So basically copying. So usually if you run execute with the CH workflow, you are going to have logs, var, tedge, tedge agent, yeah, such directory, yeah. And then this plugin just copies original workflow log to the subdirectory, which is provided by here as a command line argument, and then yeah, then that's why you can find workflow log here. So okay, then so there are also some extensions. So it's very customizable. This is a very basic one. So the next I want to show what you can customize. First of all, so if you want to disable some default plugin, also you can do it very easy way. So let's go this user share tedge diag plugins. Yeah, now there are some plugins. So if you, for example, let's say like you don't want to record this mosquito, and then just add dot ignore. Sorry, ignore. Yeah, dot ignore. Then can run this. Sorry, I want to go back to here, and then let's type correct plan again. And then you see the previously this mosquito plugin was called, but since it marked as ignore, so this one is now skipped. And also, let's imagine, so if you want to create your own plugin, you don't have to store everything in the same directory. So actually, anywhere you can store. So that's I'm going to show you the next. So I already created some very easy demo. Yes, I created the plugin. The location is setup demo. Yeah, 100 demo. I can also show you the content. The script contents is super easy. So it's just output some sentence to std out and also std error, and also create a file. Yeah. And then in that case, let's correct. You can specify multiple plugin directory. So the, let's say first one, the default one, user share tedge the plugins, and also the another one that I have now, the setup demo. Yes, should be a plugin. Yeah, plugin there. Then this one. Yeah, now you see this 100 demo, this simple script is now called by this tedge tag correct. And this is not only this command line argument, there's also new tedge config Let's configure list. I think that, yes. We have this one now, new tedge config key, diag plugin path. So this can take multiple values. So that means also, for example, if we're using Docker, maybe you prefer the environmental variable, then yeah, you can use environmental variable like tedge underscore diag underscore plugin underscore path. Yeah. Yeah. Then so let's see what was created. So this output directory, and also you can change by this command line argument. Actually, so there are many configurable stuff. For example, this output directory by default, we use a TMP path. This is from tedge config. That is now / TMP, but you can change it, and also even the table name. Yeah. So if you want to have some automated script, probably you don't like to have timestamp in the file name because it can be changed every time. In that case, also just provide dash name, and then you can change the name. So that ZZ will be added automatically, but at least you can rename this part to anything that you like. So the last, let's check the last one. This is the last one. Yes. Yeah. Let's decompress again. The new one I created at last. Yeah. So you see, this is having now 100 demo, and then what is the content of 100? It's the script 9 to 7. Yeah. And then demo. Something wrong occurred, I think. Out. Okay. A file should be recorded here, but sorry, something wrong occurred. So yeah, that this output std error, and also this output std out recorded in this output.log. Yeah. Then in the end, what I want to say, so what is the benefit for the support side and also the user side? The support side, so sometimes you need a communication with users, customers who needs a help, like please run this command and give me the result bug. Or so you can just need to create a plugin and give that one to the customer, and then ask them to run this test correct. And then I think this way is much simplify the communication with them. And also the user side also easy because they can't make a mistake. So just they have to run the script, the plugin provided from the support. And it's just they need to give power to the support, only one file. I think, that's all for me.
Yeah, so maybe just thanks, Rena. Maybe just a few kind of like additional applications. So this is a fun, like a base command to do the actual collection of different kind of diagnostic information. So if you had an application and you wanted to, you can actually add the diagnostic script as part of your packaged application. So if you had, my new fancy app 1, and you wanted to basically splice in going, well, when this application is installed and people run a diagnostic on it, it's such an important application, so I want the information to also be collected within this command. Then all that requires is placing a file, which is part of that package, in this well-known directory or whatever custom directory you configure, and then you get that out of the box. So you can really have this kind of like opt-in when an application is installed, if it knows how to collect diagnostic information about itself, it kind of integrates very nicely into this tool. So that's why we kind of went a little bit, thought about the design a little bit and how do we extend this nicely to make that as easy as possible. Second point is this is a command that can be run. So this means you can actually execute it from, the CY shell command. Like you can execute all this from the cloud. There is no explicit workflow. This was actually done on purpose. So generally, if a customer is in a diagnostic, has an issue, that means that something isn't working. So you can't then rely on, hey, run the tedge agent, because the problem might be with the tedge agent. It's either not installed or corrupt or whatever. So we tried to minimize the amount of components required. So obviously, if tedge isn't installed, we can't fix that for you. However, we've tried to just reduce the number of dependencies as much as possible so that it should always work. And if the tedge diag command doesn't work, that's probably an indication that tedge is not installed, which is also, a clear solution for that problem. So hopefully and over time, we'll add more kind of like as we kind of gather experience and going, oh, this information would be useful to have. We don't want to collect, gigabytes of information. So we're still, focusing on, something that's under, let's say, 200 kilobytes compressed. But we won't prevent people from adding a little bit more verbose information into that. That's up to you to decide what kind of makes sense for your IoT solution. So the change has actually merged into main already. So if you're using the mainline release, you could use that, but we're still tidying up the documentation and are yet to publish the documentation. I see there's a question, Mario.
Yeah, first of all, I like the new feature, definitely. It's going to help. Do you plan to have also a tedge diag upload command or something like that?
So the good thing is we already have a command that can upload. So if you do a tedge upload C8Y, you can feed the output from that command and upload it as an event to the device.
So you would just give it the, what do you give it? The
you just give it the file path to the
Okay.
output. Yeah, and then that will automatically add it as a, creates an event velocity with the, so as a file attachment.
Okay, true, you can use just that. Okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah, exactly. So you can kind of control all those things. We decided not to kind of couple it directly into like the diag collect command, given that sometimes, your problem is with velocity that, I know your configuration is incorrect or using a custom domain or DNS errors or whatever. There can be a million different ones, but yeah, it ties very nicely into that.